Here it comes. Listen to this carefully.
Worship the moon, dummy. Okay? The Most High command us in every month we come together and have a feast in the beginning of our months. That's what we do. Okay? And the moon does not dictate the 7-day Sabbath.
Did you hear that? The moon does not dictate the 7th-day Sabbath. So what does? Doesn't the moon dictate the month? In the very Apocrypha, which he's going to read, it tells you that the month was named after the moon. The word month, even when you look it up in the etymology dictionary, the word month came from the moon, from the word moon. Okay? So if the moon dictates the month, the course of a month, shouldn't it dictate the course of the Sabbath? When does the Sabbath come in? The 7th day, correct? Sabbath, another word for Sabbath is 7, which equates to rest. So what would calibrate when the 7th day come in? Wouldn't it be the moon?
In this video,
Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to hopefully like men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth without sincerity. And shalom to those very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting order in these last days. And brother Amawan coming to the video, Lord one is edifying, right? And this pretty much, trying to clear up things, laying backing up with the elder apostle Gabar and the elder not Zatbot, right? This is going off the video that they put out already against the camp IUIC going off again, and we just here to help clean it up and let you know the right way and what's correct, right? And so pretty much going into it, they're not talking they pretty much about the Sabbath, right? The moon doesn't dictate them on the Sabbath, right? And like the elder was saying inside the video, the moon dictates the moon is the month, Sabbath is the rest day, man, right? And I'm gonna play that video again, right? But I'm just going inside the etymology, right? And that's what the elders always promote, pushes, right? Define it, look it up, right? So the moon says heavenly body, which revolves about the earth monthly, right? So it just lets you know moon is month, right? How do you know in a new month? Looking at the moon, it's phases, And then what they push at IUIC is that a new month is pretty much a full moon when the moon is full, which is off. A quick analogy to that is when you walk inside of a store, you're looking at glasses, right? You're buying a glass bottle or whatever. Excuse me. You don't buy one with, it's filled up. It's empty. You buy here Salaki, people riding by. You buy a glass with nothing in it. That's a new glass. You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's the same thing with the month, man. Hey, a new month comes in, it's empty. Right? You don't buy nothing what's already full. And I know what you could try to say is, well, you buy alcohol or whatever and it's full. No, that's not the case. Right? When you buying something new, it's empty. Then it fills up over time. Right? And I wanted to just go ahead and jump inside a couple of precepts. It's like right? One that the elder had brought out is Ecclesiastes 43 verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Right? Pretty much going back to the book of Genesis 1 and 14, which I'm going to grab after this. From the moon is the sign of feast. Right? So you can't, yes, we you know what I'm saying? The moon is a part of what goes on. We look up, man. That's what type of people that we are. We look up and discern the times. Right? If I'm not mistaken, a brother just dropped a video on, it was a blood moon. Right? Looking up. Right? And it's like going to the book of Luke. Those are signs. It says from the moon is the sign of feast and It's like from the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The moon is called after her name, right? Moon, month. That's where you get it from. Sabbath going to the what? Seventh day. It said increasing wonderfully and her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. Right, and which I do have right here is the recording on my other phone, and I'm gonna let you just hear it again on the elder, pretty much breaking it back down. Right.
Here it comes. Listen to this carefully.
Worship the moon, dummy. Okay? The Most High command us in every month we come together and have a feast in the beginning of our months. That's what we do. Okay, and the moon does not dictate the 7-day Sabbath.
Did you hear that? The moon does not dictate the 7th-day Sabbath. So what does? Doesn't the moon dictate the month? In the very Apocrypha, which he's going to read, it tells you that the month was named after the moon. The word month, even when you look it up in the etymology dictionary, the word month came from the moon, from the word moon. Okay? So if the moon dictates the month, the course of a month, shouldn't it dictate the course of the Sabbath? When does the Sabbath come in? The 7th day, correct? Sabbath, another word for Sabbath is 7, which equates to rest. So what would calibrate when the 7th day come in? Wouldn't it be the moon?
In this video.
Woo, hey, Khan. And when we look down, I was just reading down some more. It says to measure in reference to the moon's phases as an ancient and universal measure of time. Right? You cannot get around that, man. You use the moon to measure the times. Right? Let's play that back just one more time.
Here it comes. Listen to this carefully.
Worship the moon, dummy. Okay? The Most High command us in every month we come together and have a feast in the beginning of our months. That's what we do. Okay? And the moon does not dictate the 7-day Sabbath.
Did you hear that? The moon does not dictate the 7th-day Sabbath. So what does? Doesn't the moon dictate the month? In the very Apocrypha, which he's going to read, it tells you that the month was named after the moon. The word month, even when you look it up in the etymology dictionary, the word month came from the moon, from the word moon. Okay? So if the moon dictates the month, the course of a month, shouldn't it dictate the course of the Sabbath? When does the Sabbath come in? The 7th day, correct? Sabbath, another word for Sabbath is 7, which equates to rest. So what would calibrate when the 7th day come in? Wouldn't it be the moon?
In this video.
God, man, like the elder just said, what's going to dictate the what's going to dictate the new moon, the Sabbath, man, right? You need the moon, man, right? And I'm gonna just close it out with this right here. Go to the book of Genesis, like I said, not something quick, right, and to the point. And this is the beginning of the book, man, which Genesis goes into the beginning, right? Genesis 1 verse 14, and Yahweh said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, for seasons, and for days and years." All right, so it's just the point, the sun. Well, I'm gonna put that in the sun and the moon, right? The sun and the moon is for signs, man. Right, and what does the moon give you a sign for? Give you a sign for what? The feast days, the Sabbath. So like I said, Lord willing, this was edifying. Right, the new moon establishes the Sabbath. That's what these camps have to understand. A new moon establishes the Sabbath. And the new moon is when you don't see the moon outside, right? The moon is there, but it's pretty much dark. It's dark compared to the other phases of the moon. You know, so like I said, Lord willing, this was edifying. Slacking for the rambling and jumping around, right? But I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Rakakadash. Till next time, Shalom.